he did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route, no response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great, it's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
Hey, listen, this story is not surprising. There's a specific subject that I have not been wanting to touch on in the boxing world because it's so prevalent in the entertainment industry that I thought by this time a lot of people would have pointed it out or called people out for it. However, it hasn't happened yet. And it's so brutally obvious why Terence Crawford was just stripped of his WBC status. Aside from the WBC president sounding like a straight pimp. It's an obvious reason. Just take a look around. Matter of fact, this is what I'll do. I'll let you all guess. What do these individuals right here that I'm about to name, these fighters, what all do they have in common? Terence Crawford, Deontay Wilder, who else? Claressa Shields. What do they have in common? Achievements? Champions? Of course, not the same amount of achievements. Terence Crawford has been undisputed in 3 weight classes. Claressa Shields, multiple weight classes, undisputed. Deontay Wilder held the WBC belt for an extremely long time. What do these fighters have in common? It's the dark skin. I know this subject is going to touch people the wrong way, or some people the wrong way. But listen, there is just as much colorism in boxing as there is any other entertainment industry in this world. Listen to what I'm about to say, and listen clearly. The face of boxing cannot be a dark-skinned black person. I'll say it again. Listen, the face of boxing cannot be a dark-skinned black person. Let's look at the examples. Just look at history. Look at when Joe Frazier beat Ali. Did he get the accolades that Ali got? Was he plastered as the face of boxing? Think about that. Deontay Wilder became the WBC champion far before Anthony Joshua got his unified status. Before he was even unified, Anthony Joshua was plastered all over the place. Why? Because of the builds he had and the fact that he's not a dark-skinned black person. They're not going to push the darker-skinned black person forward like that. They're not going to make them the face of boxing. You can take it how you want to take it. Until you prove me wrong, you've got to eat these words because it's the truth. They will not put a dark-skinned black person as the face of boxing. They had Anthony Joshua everywhere. I'm down here in Alabama, and I could go to a place called Dick's Sporting Goods, an Academy Sports and Outdoors. And over in the Under Armour section, they had big posters of Anthony Joshua next to all the Under Armour wear, not only because he had an Under Armour contract, but because they could push him as a marketable individual because he's not the big, scary, dark-skinned individual. Call it what you want, but make sure you call a spade a spade. He wasn't even unified yet. This is years back. When Deontay Wilder came back from the Olympics here in Alabama, When he got back here from the Olympics, they didn't want to do anything for him. He didn't get a parade. He barely got a newspaper article, if that. But I was looking for it. No newspaper article. For a long time, no parade. I'm unsure if they even had a parade for him. Still, here in Alabama. He came back with the bronze medal in boxing. Now, you don't have to be a fan of Deontay Wilder's to understand that he deserved a lot more than that. Bringing back that magnitude of an accomplishment back to the championship college football state of the nation, of the world. You mean you couldn't give him his accolades then? Why? Because he couldn't be the face. Let's go to Clarissa Shields. Won the Olympics twice. She went back and proved herself twice. No other athlete in boxing, men's or women's boxing, has ever done that. She went back twice to prove how good she really is. Excuse me. She went back twice to prove how great she really is. Why isn't she the face of women's boxing or boxing? If you want to keep them separate, women's boxing. Why isn't she the face of that? Or why hasn't she gotten the face of boxing? Oh, she hasn't faced anybody. The competition. Y'all bring up all these competitive competition factors. It's not her fault who's not boxing, who's in the division. She has went all the way up to heavyweight in women's boxing to prove how great she is. And you know what? She's still not the face. She's still not one of the faces of boxing. They're not going to put her face in Academy Sports and Outdoors. They're not going to put her face in your local sporting goods store. They're not going to plaster her face all on the internet like they should. They're not going to put her and Deontay Wilder out there like they should have. They still should with Clarissa Shields because she's an active boxer. She deserves way more accolades than what she gets. But she's a darker-skinned black person. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. And don't get me wrong, I am not a racist individual. However, you've got to just look at the landscape. Colorism is real, just as colorism is in the movie industry with people like Viola Davis. They don't want to give her credit. She's got to go through some weird roles to get her acknowledgement. So let's go to current Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford. If Errol Spence would have defeated Terence Crawford and became undisputed, do you know how plastered they have Errol Spence's face everywhere? Because he's the more fair, lighter-skinned black person, they would have plastered him like they plaster everybody else. Canelo can be the face of boxing. They would have made Tank Davis the face of boxing, even though he didn't achieve anywhere as near as many accolades as Terence Crawford has. But they would have no problem putting his face up there. Well, aside from the fact, he puts his hands on women, but that probably would have negated that. But they would have loved to put Errol Spence up there. And this is no shot at Spence. This is just me calling it what it is. Terence Crawford went out there and demolished Errol Spence in black Air Force Ones and an untapered fro, being a darker-skinned individual, being a darker-skinned man, darker-skinned black man. They're not going to give it to him. Terence Crawford then said, hey, this second time undisputed, it's not enough. Jumped up, not to 54, not to 60, to 68, went up 3 weight classes. And took on the face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, the former face of boxing. Canelo Alvarez made Canelo Alvarez look bad. Let's just call it what it is. Made him look bad. Whooped him. Went out there and what? Some old Jim Jones braids with the fuzz in it. And He fought the hell out of Canelo and achieved his third undisputed title. What did they do? They gave it to him for a little bit, but what happens today? They strip it. They took it. The WBC president sounds like a pimp. Oh, he didn't even say thank you. Oh, he forgot how he made the $50 million. He made it by going out there and fighting. Pimp. Quit pimping the fighters, saying, oh, they didn't pay the sanctioning fee. I bet you would have gave Canelo a pass. I bet you give Bivol a pass. I bet you give Usyk a pass. Or an extension. But you'd rather say it's fees. It's safe for them to say that. They can't come out and say, we can't let him remain a 3-time undisputed, boxing champion because he's a darker-skinned black male and we can't make him the face of boxing because even after he beat Canelo as bad as he beat him, where are the Terence Crawford new endorsements? Why isn't he on an Adidas commercial? Like, I know he's sponsored by Everlast, but why isn't he getting new sponsorships, new partnerships, new deals? Why isn't he plastered and being the face of boxing right now? It's the elephant in the room. It's the silent elephant in the room because people are scared to say it. I'm not scared to say it. I'm not scared to say it at all. It's colorism in boxing, just as it is any other part of the entertainment industry. They are not going to give the darker-skinned black man the face of boxing. You have to be fair-skinned. You have to be Ali. You have to be Errol Spence. You have to be... Let me see, who else? Who else was the fair-skinned, undisputed? I can't think right now as far as that goes, but you cannot be the darker-skinned black male. You can't. And this is what concerns me about fighters like Abdullah Mason, because he does have a lot of potential and could possibly be one of the faces or could possibly be in position to be one of the faces of boxing. However, he's a dark-skinned black male. They don't give faces of boxing to dark-skinned black males. Debate me about it if you want to. Drop some comments below. If you think I'm lying or if you think that it's BS, tell me. Tell me below and then bring up your facts. Show me one dark-skinned face of boxing. Show me one dark-skinned face of boxing. Tell me. You can't. Colorism is rooted in every industry in this country, and boxing is showing its ugly faces right now. If you are a dark-skinned black fighter, no matter what you accomplish and what you achieve, you will not and ever be granted the face of boxing. That's how I'm in this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know if I'm wrong.